Coming to you from sunny California and the Great White North. Get ready. We are breaking down the obstacles on the Armchair Ninja Podcast. Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Armchair Ninja Podcast. It is Saturday, February 24th, 2018. My name is Rich, and joining me is Bijan. How you making out?
I'm good, man. I am excited and very sore. Been doing some ANW training, just some fitness training in general and stuff. Yeah, I'm getting there, guys. I'm giving it my all, and I visited M Lab in LA just yesterday. It was very fun training with Arnold Hernandez and everyone there. Met Tiana Weberly, a few others, and it was pretty awesome. Very fun, awesome gym. Check it out if you're in the LA area.
That's right. For those that did not listen to last week's episode, Bijan will be on ANW 10 this season. That's going to be so exciting.
Terrifying. Terrifying is the word. Ugh.
I just can't believe it's going to actually happen for you. Everyone's so excited for you. Social media is lit up. Everybody's wishing you the best, and I'm glad to hear that you're going into the Ninja Gym and getting some pointers from the best out there. So
definitely, and definitely thank you to everybody who sent me love on Twitter and Instagram. I'm definitely looking at them. I know I really, really suck at replying, guys. I know. I'm sorry, but I really appreciate everything. And yeah, all peace and love. I'm gonna try to rep hard.
So in this episode, we are going to be taking a look at Ninja versus Ninja, our preview of the upcoming season, which starts next week.
Woo. I'm excited. This is going to be fun. They have been hyping this show up for what seems to be forever on USA. I mean, I cannot imagine a world where this show fails. I think it's going to be huge, and I really think it is going to be very, very entertaining. Oh boy, these teams, dude. I mean, wow.
It's pretty awesome. We've got a rundown. Thank you very much to Nikki from ANW Nation for putting together a list of the actual matchups that we'll have. So that really is helpful to us in figuring out who's going to run when and against who and who our picks are. So we don't end up picking teams to win that are facing each other in the first round. So thank you very much for that. We're going to run through our picks, what we think are going to be some exciting matchups, and a general rundown of the whole episode. We're not going to go through and list all of the teams or all the competitors. There's just too many. We've got 36 teams, so 108 competitors. It's just too many to run through everybody, unfortunately.
Yeah. That said, I mean, if you go to ANW Nation and take a look at all of the talent competing on Ninja versus Ninja, I mean, it is insane. I think whatever our picks are, any team can win any episode. And I think this is going to be just phenomenal stuff.
So let's take a look here. First up, I want to say which matchup has you most excited? So not episode, but matchup. So what?
So we're doing matchups over picks first, right?
Yeah, we'll do the picks last. We'll do our overall picks last. I want to take a look at who. When you're looking through that list, where you're like, oh, I can't wait to see those two teams go up against each other.
Before we say anything else, Rich, I mean, do you know who's here?
Who's here where?
Champ is here!
Ah, jeez.
Gotcha. All right,
Totally
let's do this. So, I just had to. There's two matchups that I'm really, really looking forward to more than anything else, Rich. I cannot wait to see the Tryhards, which is a team comprised of Sean Bryan, Rebecca Bonilla, and Adam Rail, against Superhero Squad. Listen to these people on Superhero Squad. Jamie Ron, Rachel Goldstein, and Sean Darling Hammond. That is going to be a crazy matchup of very, very talented young people. When you think about the teams, obviously Adam Rail, you're going to think, oh, he's a speed demon, he's so fast and everything. If you guys remember last season, Jamie Ron has come into great prominence when it comes to speed in this type of sport. So do not sleep on him. I think he is going to be surprising a lot of people. And in terms of, like, the backup people, like, Sean Bryan is just like, you know how good he was. He actually might be the number one on the team now I think about it. And then he's going to be going up probably against the other Sean with Sean Darling Hammond. So you've just got amazing matchups because Sean Darling Hammond is very, very fast in his own self and very tall and strong for his size. I think his size is gonna play a major part in this also. And then the women. I mean, Rachel Goldstein versus Rebecca Bonilla. Are you kidding me, dude? Like, I just cannot wait to see that matchup. That is going to be very fun, in my opinion.
That might be our strongest matchup, like two of our strongest teams meeting in the first round.
Yep.
Like, it's really hard. It's hard to find ones that would be stronger than those two going at it right off the bat. But I have to say, comparable to that, my pick for one of the most exciting ones is Phoenix Force versus Think Tank.
Oh, wow. Okay.
Yeah, so Najee Richardson's team facing off against Noah Kaufman's team. That could be really interesting. We've got Najee Richardson, who absolutely crushed it last season. He made it to stage 3. If you don't remember, I don't know how you cannot remember Najee. Najee is amazing. So is Noah. Noah's pretty good, but on his team is like the secret weapon, the ultimate secret weapon. Matt Wilder is an absolute insane person on that course. He can absolutely tear through it. Mm-hmm. So that I think will be a good matchup. But one of the favorites for me, and I got to mention this one quickly, isn't so much that, those ones we're talking about are ones that are really going to be cool to watch. This one, I just like the dynamics of this one. We have the NorCal Ninjas that are going to be facing the Youngbloods. I don't know if you noticed that one or not.
Yeah, I kind of noticed that.
Yeah, so we have
why don't you explain why? This is going to be a fun one.
We have some old school ninjas. We have David Campbell, the Godfather, and Brian Kretsch and Anna Shoemaker going up against the rookies, the diehards, the super fans, Tyler Gillette, Kevin Carbone, and Bree Widener. Like, that is just amazing that, you think if you're Tyler Gillette or Kevin Carbone, you're just going to be just absolutely beside yourself. You're stepping onto the course next to David Campbell and Brian Kretsch.
Yeah, those are going to be phenomenal matchups. What's interesting is my other pick for, like, my clear number 2 matchup that I want to see this entire season. I thought you were going to choose it, Rich, because it is with the Phoenix Force being a component of it. But I cannot wait to see the Phoenix Force versus Team TNT. They're on the same episode. And Team TNT, if you guys have been sleeping on them, they've made it to the finals 2 seasons in a row now. They're the little team that is always put off to the side where it's like, oh, it's cute. I mean, Travis Rosen, Emily Durham, and Brett Sims, it's like, those are names. They're names for certain people. But then it's like, no, that's Travis Rosen, Brett Sims, Emily Durham. That team is going to be dope. And them going against the young team of Phoenix Force, which is Najee Richardson, Cassie Craig, and Michael Torres. I mean, that has got story written all over it. And I'm really, really interested to see who comes out on top. Because I think they are also going to be battling for one of the top spots. I think whoever comes out of that episode, and if any of the other teams like Think Tank or Frostbite beat those two, I mean, that episode, I think whoever wins is going to be a major, major front runner for the entire season.
Cool. So those are our picks for the most exciting ones we're looking forward to the most. We can look deeper into the season, but those are, in the initial matchups who looks to be exciting, and we should see some of those happen. I want to take a look at the underdogs. So who do we think are going to be the big surprise for the average viewer? So now a lot of these are ones that maybe, if you're listening to this podcast and we might be a little more familiar with them than the average viewer. But who do you think is going to actually cause people to drop their popcorn at home? Like, whoa, what is that? How could they be, that famous ninja? These guys aren't maybe as well known.
I mean, it has to be a tryhards, right? It has to be.
Tryhards, 100%, yeah. How can you not?
It's hard, though, because it's not like Sean Bryan doesn't have a name.
Right.
Sean Bryan was one of 3 people that made it to stage 3 last season. But Sean Bryan is still relatively new when it comes to the overall narrative of American Ninja Warrior. And Adam Rail is one of those personalities where it's like, if you know American Ninja Warrior, you know Adam Rail. But I still feel like the average Joe at home, they're aware of him. Like, they featured him and everything. But Adam Rail doesn't have that one storyline yet that just engrosses you to the point of Najee Richardson. Or even Sean Bryan, the Papal Ninja, you know, like Adam Rail, I know him mostly as the dude that wins Wolfpack Ninja Tour every year. I know he has a storyline of construction, I think it is, or cement, something like that, right, Rich?
Yeah, it's concrete worker.
Yeah. And I know his family is a storyline, but it's not to the same extent. So I think Adam Rail is going to surprise a lot of people. And yeah, I think Tryhards is one that's going to be really high up there. I don't know. Why don't you give one?
I wouldn't be too surprised to see the Lizard Kings really give people a run for their money, too. We had Kyle Soderman on the show. Kyle was, amazing on Ultimate Beastmaster. He's been doing really well in National Ninja League. Thank you, Will, from the former Final Stage podcast and his YouTube channel. I need something to call you, Will. Give me some name to reference you as now. Will and his 2D Will Productions, 222 Productions, sent us a video of Kyle absolutely crushing it in last season's NNL with an amazingly fast run. So we know he can move quickly. And he described Hunter Gerard as his faster training partner, right? Hunter's the fast one. So if he's faster than Kyle, and they've got Sarah Schoback on that team, who did really well last season, we're looking at a pretty good spoiler team right there.
Oh yeah, big time. Now there's two teams, in my opinion, that really have potential to really come out and like just raise their stock completely. One is Midwest Muscle. And that's because it's a team of Tyler Yamauchi, who's been on our podcast, phenomenal athlete, just absolutely phenomenal. And he's kind of like the little speed demon that could, he's shockingly fast for his size. But then there's Kersey Pratt, who for years now I've been just singing to the praises. She is so good, so phenomenal, and I still feel like she has yet to come out with her, like, just explosion and just be like, I am here. She's so good, and I'm really excited because I think this is her year where she's going to show what she's truly capable of. And then Ethan Swanson, just phenomenal athlete in himself. So Midwest Muscle, they don't have the name, they don't have the storylines with them yet. Tyler Yamauchi is the main storyline, and he's got some pull. But I feel like Kersey Pratt and Ethan Swanson haven't had their time to shine yet. And I think they're going to be surprising a lot of people against the likes of, Lance Pekus and the Dark Horses and the Breakfast Club with John Alexis Jr., Jesse Liprak, all them. Like, there's big names on that episode, and I think Midwest Muscle has the opportunity to really shock a lot of people. And really, there's one just because I feel bad saying this, but I barely remember the name, like the stories of these people. But All American Ninjas, Jonathan Horton, April Steiner Burnett, and Paul Hamm. It's like, I know those names, but you know what I mean? It's like
a little bit, yeah.
So
I remember Jonathan Horton. Jonathan's the Olympian, right?
Yes.
He's 5 feet tall, I believe. 5 foot or 5'1".
And there's that storyline, right? But when you just name those names, they're not really like just sparking the namesake as, the people that they're up against with like Carson Williams, Brian Arnold, Barclay Stockett, Jake Murray, and all those names. You instantly like that see their faces. I don't think anybody on this team has that storyline yet of being that. So All American Ninjas, if they do well, they can really surprise a lot of people, because I don't think they're coming in with a lot of namesake.
I want to circle back to Midwest Muscle for a second and say that I agree. Definitely one to watch, because Tyler was fantastic and actually a fantastic guest for the podcast, and is welcome back anytime if you're still listening, Tyler. Ethan Swanson, I really liked him last season. What we did see of him, unfortunately, did have an early fall, so we didn't get to see as much of him as we would have liked. But Kirsty Pratt has been a long time favorite of ours. And if you doubt her skills, last season on Team Ninja Warrior, she beat Jessie Graff. So definitely cannot doubt her abilities after that.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they really have potential to surprise a lot of people.
All right, so before we get into our final picks, I do want to talk about, because it is a topic of this show every season, is the team names that they come up with.
Shame!
The best and worst team names. I'm wondering, before we start shaming people, do you have some favorites? Do you have any new ones maybe that stand out to you, or some old favorites that came back?
Like good names?
Good names.
Oh man,
good names
I wasn't
that you
even
liked.
looking. Okay, let's look at these, because I'll be honest with you, I wasn't even looking at the.
Yeah, no doubt.
There are some hot garbage names this season, guys, where I was like, oh, this is. But in terms of good ones, I kind of like the name Dark Horse. It's kind of cute, and let's take a look. Well, actually, while I'm looking this, why don't you name off your favorites?
All right, my favorites. I still enjoy Lab Rats. I think that's perfect, especially where they out of the Movement Lab. I think it's a good branding thing for them. And I don't care how cheesy it is. I love the Breakfast Club. I think that's a fantastic name.
It's like mid-level. It's not cringe. It's cute, right? I wouldn't say it's great, but I think it's cute. It's fun. It's like a nice pun.
And this one, I don't know. It's funny because I had it as one of my worst names, and then back to my best. It stands out to me in a weird way as being either the worst or the best, and that is Three Wishes.
Shame.
Three Wishes.
Nope.
I wanted to put it on my worst list, to be honest, but the more I thought about it, I don't even remember what Thomas Stillings used last season, but I didn't like it, and we really wanted him to use the genie thing. Yeah. And I thought, Three Wishes, I see where that's coming from, right? There's three of them. It's a genie thing. I think it misses the mark just slightly, but I appreciate the effort, so I'm giving it a best for that.
I honestly, I shouldn't shame it. Three Wishes is in my mid tier. It's fine. Once again, it's one of those things where it's cute, but at least there's a reasoning for it. Like, you get it.
Yeah. So, do you have any? Did you see any you liked at all? Is there any you're like, you know what? You said Dark Horse. You gave it that one.
I actually have a few that I really like. My absolute favorite is actually Frostbite. I really think that's a good name. It's short, quippy, to the point, and it's just like Frostbite is a strong name. It's like you're gonna get frostbitten, you know? Like I don't know. I love it. That's a really cool name. I really like Phoenix Force. Like, that is such a cool name.
That is a good name.
That's one where it makes sense, but it's also incredibly powerful. That's a good one. I really enjoy that one. Wolfpack, tried and true, but I like Wolfpack. It's catchy. It's, you get it. It's quippy. And it's even from, like, I mean, people that just do regular, obstacle courses and everything, they get it from The Hangover, and they call themselves Wolfpack. So why not? That's a cool one. So there's some other ones, like Youngbloods. They're young. I get it. Like, it's not, like, awesome, but it's not bad in the slightest. It's actually higher up there, in my opinion. So I really like that one. The one that I go back and forth on is Lizard Kings, man. It's such a weird name, but I like it. It's weird. It's fun. It's not one of those ones where it's cringeworthy at all, man. It's actually, like, a pretty fun name. So I really enjoy that one.
It's funny because most of my worst names are actually some of the stronger competitors, because I got Lizard Kings in there. I'm like, I don't know. It does stand out, I guess, if you want to give it credit for that. It does. Some of them are terrible for the fact that they are completely forgettable. You will never remember it later. Lizard Kings at least stands out for that way.
Yeah. Oh, and I also like Team Ronin. That's always been a really cool name, in my opinion.
Yeah, I was waiting for you to say that because I know you've mentioned it in other years. You like that name.
Yeah, that's a dope name. Like, A+ right there. So in terms of the teams of shame, let's get into that, because I've got kind of like two tiers right here. I've got ones where it's like, what? Like, it's just weird and not in a good way. And then I've got three teams that are just hot garbage names. Shame. What were you thinking?
I'm only gonna bang on two names, and I'll let you do the ultimate shaming with all your big list you got going here. I
Go
gotta tell
ahead
you,
with you.
I'm not a fan of tryhards. That might be the worst name I've ever heard on here, to be honest.
It's pretty bad. It's pretty bad.
It's
I don't understand the meaning for it, hononestly.
Yeah,
So
exactly. That's point one against it. Point two is it sounds like they're not good. maybe that was the point, to have everyone underestimate them, but it just makes it sound like they're completely just going to do their best, right? Like they're just going to do whatever they can, but they're not expecting very much.
Yeah, I mean, any avenue you go to try to explain it, like, oh, diehards or try hard, like whatever you try, it misses the point. Whatever aim they're doing, it completely misses the target, in my opinion. So, tryhards is a really bad one. It's still not the worst of the season.
Really?
Now, I will leave that till the end.
Okay.
Now, there's somewhere I'm just like, that's a weird name. What were you thinking? One would be Three Wishes. Sorry, Thomas Stillings, I love you and all, but that's a weird name. Not bad, guys, but these are the weird ones. I question what on earth Hazard Brigade is or why.
What?
Like, it's. I have to imagine. Are these like
Mike
who's
Bernard
on this team? Because
Mike
are
Bernardo.
these the? Yeah, I was about to say this has to be like firefighters or something.
He wears
right?
the hazard tape, so that's why it's called the Hazard Brigade.
Yeah. that name just screams. I'm gonna go really fast on Ninja versus Ninja. Yeah. Okay.
I love the tone. I can hear it in your tone immediately. Like, yeah, sure, whatever. Okay.
There's Invincibles. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
It's not good.
It's never grown on me.
It's never gonna be good. And hashtag ninjas. I fully understand the reasoning for the name because they're like every member of that team is very viral on their Instagrams and everything. Yeah. It screams just a bunch of words I can't say on a family show, but it's just not. You know what I mean? It's not good saying like, oh, I'm viral. Oh, I'm a hashtag. Like, it's just, maybe it's me. I don't know. Maybe that's just my own opinion, but I feel like there's better ways of going about that, of saying that, you're big on it. Hashtag, how do I say this, Rich? When you're watching TV and everything or anywhere, when people say like hashtag this or it's never like fun, right? Or at least in my opinion, it's
no one likes to hear that said out loud. Basically, hashtag whatever, hashtag. It's annoying. It's inherently annoying. So yeah, I get it. I really liked it. Actually, I really hated it originally. And then the more I thought about it, like, actually, you know what? That ties in well with them and everything.
It makes sense.
So it was on my worst, and then it was on my best, and then I just dropped off because it was middle of the road. I was like, you know what? I don't know what I think of it. It's just, it's somewhere in between.
Yeah, it sucks because really it makes sense. Really much makes sense. But the word hashtag, I feel like, just has a connotation that isn't going to do them well in terms of just public perception. Like, my girlfriend's never watched this show and everything. She sees a team called hashtag ninjas. I guarantee you she's not going to be rooting for them. Just saying. So there's one team, though, the name, that's just god-awful, and they get the ultimate shaming. And that is Brazzy Bros. No, I'm just kidding. That's not Brazzy Bros.
I thought for sure that's what you were going to say.
No. Like, jokes aside, it's not Brazzy Bros. But for real, this team name, it's so bad. And that is the Big Dog Ninjas. Shame.
Oh, come on.
Oh my god, that is such a bad name.
I laughed out loud when I saw that name. I don't even know if it was meant to be sarcastic or not, but I love it. I thought it was so funny.
Yeah. Yo, I'm gonna be part of the Big Dog Ninjas. Like,
Akbar
I don't
named
need
that
to
team.
hear that. I get it. Like, yeah, Akbar named it, and the guy immediately cringed, and you could see on his face he did not want to be called that. And now they have a whole team named after it. Like, I don't care how long you guys do it, it's not going to become a thing. It's not going to be a thing.
What do you think Akbar's nickname for you is going to be?
I sure hope it ain't going to be Big Dog Ninja. I don't know. It's probably going to be something you know what, we'll see if I get to that point where I get named,
Right.
Oh, God. What are they going to... There's so many avenues with me, right? They can call me an armchair ninja. Well, that's one thing, online. A lot of people are wondering what name they're going to give me. That can be another time. Let's stay focused on this.
Sure. Let's wrap this up first. But I have one last shaming to go here. because I hate the
A
name
rich name.
Wisco Warriors.
I originally had that written down. And I was just like, I don't even know what to say to that. It's one of those forgettable names where, I can't even shame them because it's just so forgettable.
Yeah, like I will never remember that. Like, why? There's like, isn't there something Wisconsin like cheeseheads or something? I don't know. Is there something else you could go by? Wisco
Any
Warriors.
team name where it's named after a region, really, in my opinion, is just very forgettable. Like West Coast Warriors, Beast from the East, any of those, it's really just going to be a forgettable name. NorCal Ninjas, if they didn't have the Cinderella story of last season, I guarantee you I would have never in my life remembered anybody on that team because just the name's incredibly forgettable.
Why didn't they just call themselves, it's Drew Knopp's team. They could have just said Can't Stop Knopp as their team name.
Do not, no. You know what? Wisco Warriors, good, fine. Just not what Rich just said, no. So.
Yeah, so let's get to the finale party here. Let's hear who the picks are. I really feel like we're going to pick the same teams, but maybe not.
Man, I sure, yeah. It's interesting. We might as well go with our number one, right? Because I feel like we're both going to have the same name. Maybe I'm wrong, but
entirely possible we will.
But my number one team, by a wide margin for me, is, awful name aside, the Tryhards.
Yeah, it's the same.
I cannot think of. Yeah, it has to be. Like, I feel like most people would agree on this. You can't get, when you just think about speed and everything involving Ninja versus Ninja, you think Adam Rail, and then who's the number two? You'd think maybe Drew Dreschel or Joe Morosky or somebody like that, right? Guess what? They're not competing this season on Ninja versus Ninja. We're not going to get into that. But after that, you're going to think of, like, new names, right? Najee Richardson, Daniel Gill, and Sean Bryan. You have Sean Bryan on the same team as Adam Rail. And then you got Rebecca Bonilla on as the third chair. Are you kidding me, y'all? They are clearly the front runners. No way in heck. Like, oh my God. Such a strong team. They are my clear number one. Rich, you just said they're your number one also, right?
They are, yeah. Yeah, I couldn't not pick them. Everything you just said, you nailed it all, right? Adam Rail, there is nobody faster. He's proven it time and again. I really would have liked to seen him go up against Drew this season or Joe. We're not going to get to see that, unfortunately. There are some other extremely fast and good ninjas out there, but Adam is so amazing. Sean Bryan, the Papal Ninja, for those that don't remember, did amazing last season as an alternate, and we've seen him time and again prove how good he is, so I really have no doubts about him. And Rebecca Bonilla also did very well last season, and I feel like she is, and we've been told by multiple people that she is one to watch as an up-and-comer, and we've seen for ourselves how well she can do. So, yeah, that whole team is just strength from beginning to end.
It's insane.
But you can't sleep on number two because, you know what? I have a couple of teams that I just want. I from our interactions with them in one way or another, whether they've been on the podcast or what, I just want them to do well just because they're such great people. And this one is full of some of the strongest ninjas out there. So I really feel like Party Time could be looking at a repeat victory.
So they're your number two, huh? Party Time.
They're my number two. Brian Arnold, Jake Murray, and Barclay Stockett. That is a freaking team right there.
Very strong, too. I mean, when you think about everything involving that team, they are very, very strong in their upper body. And one thing we've learned, which is kind of crazy because when you think about speed and everything, you think of lower body. But Ninja versus Ninja, the penchants that really make the difference is the upper body obstacles. And Party Time just excels in that field.
Yeah, we've seen Brian Arnold. We did not expect that in the first season. We were totally blown away. Brian Arnold can run fast, and so can Jake Murray. We've seen that time and again. Barclay Stockett just keeps getting stronger and stronger. If you follow her social media at all, you see that she has not slowed down at all. I really feel like she was in peak form last season. She almost beat stage one. I'm really looking forward to seeing how they do this season.
Yeah. And don't sleep on Jake Murray. on that team because he has been on a tear, in particularly this past year on the regional circuit. And I think he's got a lot to, he's going to be like, I don't know, I feel like he's got a chip on his shoulder and he's going to be just dominating this whole field. So that's a very, very strong team. Very much agree. Now, I'll be honest with everybody. My number 2 going into this was the team Superhero Squad. They are phenomenal, this team of Jamie Ron, Rachel Goldstein, and Sean Darling-Hammond. I would not be shocked if they managed to beat Tryhards and make a run for the Ultimate Championships. I'm not choosing them as my number 2 because clearly I think Tryhards are going to beat them in their episode. I just wish they were padded out more a little bit differently. But don't be shocked if Superhero Squad really gives Tryhard a run for their money. So with that, my number 2 is now Team Ronin, tried and true. Team Ronin has always been incredibly fast, incredibly talented. And one thing about them is they have experience. You've got Flip Rodriguez, Megan Martin, and JJ Woods. 2 parkour athletes coming from parkour background that have transitioned into some of the strongest ninja warriors in the world. And when you think about Flip Rodriguez and JJ Woods, what do you think? You think speed and power. Flip Rodriguez had a rough year last year on Team Ninja Warrior, but I do not hold that as a detriment for himself that he's going to do the same again this time. I think he's going to learn from last season, and I think he is going to just excel at everything that he's good at. Don't forget how good he is at that warped wall. One of the most important parts of this whole thing. And don't be shocked if it's a tie going into the warped wall running in, and he just breezes past the other guy as he runs up the warped wall without even having to use his hands. Dude's insane. The X factor on this team is Megan Martin. She is the current reigning champion for the Women's League of Wolfpack and Ninja Tour. And she has shown over the past year that not only is she powerful in the obstacles, but now she's incredibly fast also. I think they're a phenomenal team.
I don't think Megan's lost a round in Team Ninja Warrior that I can remember. Like
Good
she is amazing. Flip and JJ don't need us to tell you how great they are. Team Ronin was my 3rd pick as well. I mean, every year Team Ronin is looked on as the favorite to win the whole thing, basically, and it's kind of amazing that they haven't won it to date. So they may be hungry this year. They may actually get it done. It really wouldn't surprise too many people.
So who's your 3rd?
That was my 3rd pick. Team Ronin was my 3rd. So who did you have for your 3rd?
Damn. Okay, so this is the problem that I'm having, everyone. Since I had to cross out Superhero Squad, I had to create a new clear number 3 for myself. And I'm going back and forth between 2 teams. Don't worry, Rich, I'm actually going to choose one at the end of this. But I'm going to just air out my feelings on air, I guess. And that is, one of the teams is Phoenix Force. I think they are young, they are hungry, they want it, and they are just so incredibly fast. We got Najee Richardson, Cassie Craig, Michael Torres. Michael Torres and Najee Richardson are 2 of the young bloods that have been so phenomenal in past seasons. Very, very fast. The other team that I'm going back and forth with is on the same episode, which is Team TNT. Team TNT has made it to the finals. Both seasons, everyone. And it's crazy because the names, when you listen to them, don't stand out compared to the rest in terms of speed. When you see Travis Rosen, Brett Sims, and Emily Durham, they're phenomenal athletes, but you don't necessarily be like, they're the fastest ninja warriors in the world. You can't doubt them anymore. 2 seasons in a row. They're on the same episode, and I think this is the same issue that we're going to have with the Tryhards and Superhero Squad. I think whoever comes out on top on this particular episode is going to be one of the big frontrunners for the entire season. Going back and forth, honestly, I have to go with what has been the tried and true 2 seasons in a row now. I can't doubt them anymore. I have to go with my third pick being Team TNT. I don't know what else to even say. Like, their accolades speak for themselves. They find a way to dominate.
Yeah, I'm curious because we have heard that there are some changes in the format. I feel like Team TNT has benefited a lot from Travis's strength, and I don't know if it's going to be as much of a factor this season. So we'll see.
What are the differences in the format? Hold up. Let's not lock these in. What's going on with the format here?
I don't know, but I have heard that the captains, they've tried to fix the thing with the captains carrying the team, basically.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I don't know the particulars of it. I haven't got
everyone. I am changing my number 3 pick because that was very much what I always said in my head. All right, so I'm changing my number 3 pick. My number 3 pick is Phoenix Forks. Why? Because even though Team TNT always finds a way to win, you can't deny the accolades of Najee Richardson and Michael Torres. Every episode they go to the final relay, right?
Yeah.
Everyone, I am bringing back my pick to Team TNT. Why? because I see Team TNT making it to that relay and Travis Rosen dominating against whoever the heck he's against on that final climb.
There you go.
Locking it in.
One other team that we didn't mention, I did have a quick note here, and I realized I didn't even bring up. One to watch for that we didn't make in either of our top 3s is Iron Grip. That team is Daniel
and I had
Gill.
them written down.
Yeah. Daniel Gill, Tiana Weberly, and Matisse Owati, who Matisse was amazing on College Ninja Warrior. So that team could very well come out of nowhere to take it all.
Yeah, that's got to be... I feel like Iron Grip and Lizard Kings are the 2 teams that are gonna be the ones to look out for on their episode. They're very strong, and I feel like both teams are very young and very hungry and wanting it. So that's gonna be, like, back at the beginning of our episode, I think that's gonna be a very fun matchup.
So as a reminder, this weekend, the National Ninja League, the adult finals, will be taking place February 24th and 25th at Ninja Quest in Marietta, Georgia. So if you are in the region, check it out. Get a chance to see some of your favorite ninjas in person. It's very, very cool. But that is it for this week's episode. Thank you all for tuning in. If you'd like to reach out to us, I am Rich at ninjapodcast.com. I am at Ninja Podcast on both Instagram and Twitter. And Bijan, how can they reach out to you?
Hit me up at Twitter and Instagram at Bijan151. That is Bijan 151. Love to hear you guys' ideas for maybe a name for myself, like which avenue to go with. And yeah, any tips, any suggestions whatsoever, I am down to hear it. Please send them over.
All right. Thank you all for listening, and I hope you have a fantastic week.
Peace, love, and deuces, y'all.